So I think, the open water swim, there's a couple of ways you can use it in your plan.
Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
You can go to an open water swim and use it as your long distance swim and, near enough get in, swim, for want of a better distance, race distance, and then say that session done and get out. I think, if you've been doing open water swimming, or if you're comfortable open water swimming, I think actually using it as a structured session has a lot more benefit than, just sort of floating around for an hour, whatever it might be. So using things like, as I say, the amount of strokes you're swimming, so whether it's, obviously do a decent warm-up, whether that's a lap or that's 500 strokes, obviously it's going to be different wherever you swim. And then again, breaking the session up like you would in a pool. So if you want to do threshold efforts, do 100 strokes as opposed to 100 meters. If you want to do, between two swim buoys, I think that's a really good way you can always take most pool sets, and translate them into an open water set by, I say an easy way to do it is strokes per metre, so just one stroke is 1 metre, and then count that as you're swimming. Obviously you can use your watch and do time, but that's a little bit more, you have to put a lot more effort into that, I think, whereas if you're just counting strokes, it's an easy way to break it up. And then also using the buoys as cues in your session, so if you're doing a steady, even if you're just doing a steady set, say you're doing a 500 metre effort, every time you reach a turn buoy, do 10 strokes or 20 strokes hard into the buoy, turn the buoy at race pace and do 20 strokes out, just to simulate that open water change of pace, strength, and get more than just that, again, sort of floating around steady swim effort, which I think is most people's go-to when they go to the open water, because they don't go with a plan. I think that's the biggest thing, and going with a plan, you can make so much more of a session than it just being, a swim. Yeah, and obviously going, swimming with friends is, if you've got friends to go with, or, even if there's other people at the lake that you see, doing a decent session, using each other. So again, if it's practicing the swim buoys, going around swim buoys in pairs, in threes, practicing that contact. Also using people to set the session. So, I think a really good way of doing it is if you've got, say again, 500 metre rep, one of you attacks or sort of puts in 100 strokes hard, and the other people have to react and sort of try and either sit on your feet or follow you, and you just sort of roll who has the 100 strokes hard through that rep. So say in a 500 metre rep, you'd have each of you take 100 strokes hard. I think that's a good way of using other swimmers to, it's not such a structured set, but I think it's a really open water specific set.